The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sherapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are The Bostonian versus The Book.
You covered 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus The Book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sherapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
On a primetime Thursday, what's up, boys and girls? We are live on our YouTube channel at Boston versus the Book for another episode of the Bostonian versus the Book on a Prime Sportsbook primetime Thursdays. Adam Bjorn is going to join us a little bit later on the program. He is Dave Sherapan. I am Matt Perrault. We are grateful for all of you for being here. We thank you on this Thursday. It is time to watch the Patriots in primetime. Dave, how are you? This is going to be fun. Replay, folks. Leave a comment on our YouTube channel. Like, come on over to YouTube. If you guys are watching on Sports Grid, come on over to our YouTube. Come watch some stuff we got going over there. Shorts and fun stuff. You guys are listening on Sirius? Yeah, you too. Join the video brigade portion here on channel 159. Happy Thursday, Dave. How are you?
Yeah, it can't hurt. I mean, if we continue to grow and get more people involved in interacting, that's apparently the big buzzword right now is you want interaction and you want people to stay and hang out and communicate with each other. They do that right here in the chat. They do that in our Discord channel. You go to thebvbshow.com and get in the Discord channel there. You can communicate with each other, give the plays. Everybody got plays. Everybody got moves. Everybody got this. Everybody got that. It's all in there. You can figure out ways to hook up at different games and find ways to get hats, which we did with the comments last week. Kind of exploded. They're still coming. The emails are still coming. Appreciate the hell out of every single one of you. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Help us grow the channel, the grassroots style. You know, we're just trying to do what we can to keep growing this thing. I got a couple hats. You guys, if you're betting the number of hats that I'm going to wear today, just bet it over.
Okay.
Because I went and saw the hat kid yesterday, the hat doctor, our man Corbin. And just to give you a little hint, I mean, we came up with this one. This is just I don't know exactly. It's red, Perrault. Before you say it's orange, it's a black hat, red B's, white V, and a red S. That's one of them. And then
hold on, pause. What is that? I try to figure out what colors that is. It looks like a Cincinnati Reds hat. What's the color? Okay.
Anything that has black, white, and red. It can be anything. Carolina Hurricanes, hockey season's coming up.
Oh, I don't mind that. I see the Hurricanes. Okay, I'll give you that.
Rutgers football.
Come on, bro.
Come on.
What are we doing?
Big game against Virginia Tech this week.
Rutgers.
Could be that. And then
doing?
Another sneaky one here at the beginning.
Okay.
For the people that are just joining us at the beginning, because you come at the beginning, usually stay to the end when we do favorite thing about today. Every day we'll have that. This one, Chicago Blackhawks, Jimmy Football, you're right. This is the first ever.
That's good.
Cleveland Browns.
That looks good.
It's brown, an orange V, and a brown S.
That works.
I can't believe it. I don't even know if this thing will go on my head. It's a fitted because the guy wanted to fit it, so it's a little big on me, but it works. It's nice.
It does look good.
And it's available. Just text line, but not today because we're doing proxy text today. Don't send a text today because the admin team's already mad at me. And it feels like I got, between the wife's mad at me, the admin team mad at me. I don't want anybody mad at me. So don't send a text.
Email.
Just send an email,
please. That's where you go. If you want to order a hat, you can do that. Coming up for us here. I'll tell you, like I mentioned,
It's Prime Thursday, P.
Prime Thursday. So Adam Bjorn is going to join us from Prime Sportsbook coming up here today. Talk everything happening with Prime Thursday night football and whatnot. So we'll get to all that coming up here in about 5 to 10 minutes. So stay tuned coming up for that. Or just a reminder, guys, on the Circa offering, the free midweek stays. Go to circasports.com for that, and they can take care of you. A bunch of questions came down on that. If you're out for Survivor with 1 or 2 entries, it's a 2-night stay. If you're out with 3 or more, if all of you have been out, you get 3-night stay midweek at Circa starting in November. So good job that they're kind of making it right a little bit for folks to say, hey, you were, spent $1,000 and you were out in 2 weeks. So here's a kind of like a make good in a way of like, don't worry about it. We'll take care of you type of thing.
It's so funny because, gambling Twitter is tough. I mean, there's a lot of people that are just, they're never happy with anything you do. You give them winners, they're mad. You gave them the wrong winners. You give them losers, you stink. You don't know anything. And you don't, you're not in the business long enough to do this. You're in the business too long to even be talking about this. Everybody got an opinion about something. I saw somebody say yesterday that this is bad because this is rewarding for bad contest players get a reward because they're giving you a free room for a night. And if you have 3 entries, they're giving you 3 free nights. And I'm like, man, people will find a way to be unhappy about anything if their self is unhappy.
I mean, you're really upset that people are getting a free stay?
Yeah, it's like the makeup on the bad beat refund.
But it's not.
It's not.
And anyways, it's midweek in November. There's a reason why they're giving it in midweek in November, guys. Like, do you know anything about Vegas availability? Like, come on, guys.
What do you mean? They're not coming for the F1?
Have you seen the numbers? They're losing 80% from last year. No one cared about it then. No one cares about it now. So no, they're not coming. It's come on, guys. Like come on. That's unbelievable. Wait, that wasn't Gabe who said that, was it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. All right. So because we had to have a conversation with Mr. Morency. I know Gabe can be grumpy, but I didn't think he was that grumpy.
You know what winners are rewarded with? The money.
Yeah, like stay alive.
And like books like Prime. I mean, like the reward is an app that works and good prices. Like you don't have to give money away. That's not the right way ultimately to do the business. I don't think.
If you're whining about that, you've got way too much time on your hands. If you're upset that somebody spent $2,000 or $3,000 or $10,000, we know people who spent $10,000 and are out in 2 weeks. Okay. 10 entries, 2 weeks. Goodbye.
Yeah. And what does a midweek room cost? $150 or $200 a night? Like, I mean, I don't know what it costs then midweek. I didn't look
in November, midweek, before Thanksgiving or after Thanksgiving or before Christmas.
December,
like, you kidding me?
Right. Yeah. Like we should talk to them about doing a show down there and have the people come and use the midweek, thing and have our survivors come back. Like,
oh, that's Brandon, you know the secret. Vegas in October and November, 2 best months to come here. Straight up. That's a dirty little
well, Brandon must be a back east guy because the temperature is just right for back east people. For us people that are West Coast soft, sometimes that temperature in November, December.
Oh, I love it.
Chilly.
Oh, I love it. 80-degree high. That's great.
It ain't 80 in December. What are you talking?
No, not December, but November it is. October, November it is.
Not.
Okay. Well,
80's not high.
So mark this down, guys. When we have an 80-degree high day in late October, early November,
please do.
I'm going to point to Dave and say, hey, I told you 80 degrees, late October, early November highs.
No, November after the period of time that they're giving away the rooms. There might be one in late October, but when we get into mid-November,
November 3rd, as of November 3rd, that's where it starts.
I could be wrong.
November 3rd. It can be warm. You can have nice days in November. Great golf days potentially in November. All right. What happened last night? The kid did it again. He just won't stop every day. It's Otani watch every day. Kid just keeps rolling. Keeps doing it. Another steal. Number 49. He does not hit a home run though. Got 48 of those.
Yeah.
During the 8-4 win over the Marlins here. Yep. So does this become like stop what we're doing every at bat for Otani? Are we there yet where we're going to monitor every single time he's at the plate?
You're not doing that already?
No, not yet.
Oh, I'm doing that already.
So you're stopping everything. You're like kind of watching and seeing what's happening. And then you're like, I got to see it.
I want to see it. Yeah. I'm trying to make sure that when I'm looking at the Dodger games, I mean, today they start at 1:40 Pacific. Guess what's going to be on the TV here at 1:40 Pacific? Not any previews for Patriots and Jets. I can tell you that. I'll be watching baseball. I was so excited when you sent the rundown today. It was a lot of baseball. I was like, oh, man, we're back. I love it. Even on a Thursday, prime time game, Patriots. And
Oh,
talked
we got
about
plenty of
baseball.
football. We
This
got
is
tons
great.
of football to come up, but baseball, I mean, like I told you, there's Tuesday, Wednesday, and then half of Thursday, and then it goes away until next Tuesday, Wednesday, half of Thursday. We don't talk about it again on Friday or on Monday at all. It's all college and pro football those 2 days.
Fair.
But I mean, we're
Fights
getting
on-
close to the
fights on,
playoffs.
fights on Friday is a big
Fights
thing.
on Friday. We got that tomorrow. And
on Friday. Fights
yeah,
on
I mean, look,
Friday.
we got a lot of things to talk about, but I think what's fun about Otani right now is that it's got casual people asking, okay, is he going to do it? Because he's at 48 and 49, and we're almost down to single digit games. Like he says there's no pressure on him, but it's got to be a little pressure on him, no? A little?
Does that guy have pressure?
I don't know. I don't know if he feels it. He may not care. It's
He
true.
handles everything. Like, he looks so calm and just cool, period.
Right.
I don't know if he has pressure. I think it's, I was talking to one of the kids last night briefly, and they're baseball fans.
Hmm?
They didn't even know.
Oh,
They didn't
Oops.
even know. I'm like,
I
and
will
then,
say this.
and then the first question back was, has it ever been done before? And I said, no.
That's
And,
fair.
she said, is that a really big deal? And I'm like, yes. I think it is.
It's very big. Baseball has not done a great job of marketing it. I'll say that. The race for 50-50, they've kept it quiet. I don't know why, but they've kept it relatively quiet.
By design?
I don't know. Maybe it's West Coast team, Dodgers, showing any favoritism. They don't want to show any favoritism to Aaron Judge. And you know what Judge is doing? We've got a stat about Aaron Judge later on in the show that's pretty remarkable about what his season has looked like. So I'm just wondering, are they worried about showing any type of not talking about all of baseball and just one player? So they're not going to highlight it as much as they should because of gambling?
Adam
Because
with
of
two M's, 2555 says because of the gambling, they're low keying this.
Wow. I don't know. I can't say he's totally wrong about that. There may be something to that. The baseball doesn't want to highlight because then you start asking, oh, right, ePay. Oh, right, translator. Oh, right. Starts to get, problematic.
That's a factor somewhere in the offices or something.
I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know. I think, the interpreter is part of the conversation around Shohei.
I don't know. Daniel G just came in all caps, and I love you, brother. He said this is historic. That's what the first time ever that this could happen. That
Right.
means something. That's just, I don't know. I just, I'm all in for the last week and a half of baseball, and I think I'm all in for this. I think this is something that if you're not paying attention to, you should, because we may never see it again. We may not see it again. The fact that he's stealing bases, what he's been thrown out less than seven times all season, something like that. Who does that? And then, oh, by the way, hits 50 bombs. Give the boys and girls something to vote on real quick before we get Adam in here. Does Shohei do it? Yes or no?
Oh, that's not even. I'm not asking that question.
Why?
Because the answer is yes.
I want to see by how much. I want to see if anybody will say no. Do you think it's 80-20?
95-5.
No way. There's haters in everywhere.
Who is saying he's not
say
getting
no.
50? He's getting 50 for 50. That's like minus 20,000. Yes.
Really?
He needs 1 steal and 2 homers. He's getting it. I'd be stunned if he doesn't get it. Home runs. He's getting the 50 steals.
He's getting the 50 steals, no question. You think he's going to get the home runs?
Yes, I do.
I mean, if you hit 2 home runs a week, there's 26 weeks in a baseball season. That's 52.
They're playing the Rockies.
I'm just saying.
They're playing the Rockies. He's gonna get 2 home runs. That's just how it's gonna go. So, all right, go ahead and I'd be stunned.
The poll's up. If you're watching,
you vote no. I'll be stunned if you guys are gonna vote no. Guys, it is a prime Sportsbook Thursdays for us here. Joining us for the first time on BVB. This is going to be fun. We're going to bring on Adam from Prime, joining us here on BVB. Look at the guy. How are you, Adam? Matt and Dave.
I'm good, man. How you doing? Dave, how you going?
Welcome.
Oh, great. I'm great, Adam. Good to see you, sir. First question for the listeners and watchers and people following the show. How do you say your last name correctly?
Bjorn.
Bjorn. Okay. And I think Joe warned us that we had to ask you Where, like that Where's Waldo thing, where is Bjorn? That's where we need to know right now, because you'll pop up on the Twitter and on the socials, all the different places, different things. Where are you right now, sir?
Currently, I'm sitting in between the cornfields in Auburn, Michigan.
Wow. Why are you in Michigan today?
On one of my wife's projects, bought an old school and building out an assisted living facility, and this is where we are right now.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's good. I wasn't expecting that. Cash that ticket. That's a big plus. I figured you were somewhere in the Midwest, but up in Michigan did not.
Going to USC Michigan.
That's leads me to my next question. Adam, explain to people how someone like Michigan could be a 5.5-point dog this week to USC, because a lot of people maybe not in the business or that haven't sat and taken bets for as long as you have, which again, Matt, we'll get to that in a second. How can Michigan be that big of a dog, sir?
Well, so far the money's, I think it opened 4.5, 5, and it's gotten up to 5.5, and the money's talking. I mean, all you can do is hang a number and let the people speak. And that's currently where it's sitting. I do expect it to come back a little bit the other way, possibly with seeing who's on what sides. But yeah, I mean, all we can do is hang a number and people talk. And right now, there's been a balanced, sharp money per se on it as it's climbed up and coming back down. But that's just where it is right now.
Adam, our audience loves to get to know guests, and as you appear with us over the course of the next football season, they're going to want to know more about Adam. What's your background? How long have you been doing this? And what's your current opinion about where we are in the American sports betting landscape? Because you guys at Prime are basically saying, taking all comers, you're not shying away. It literally says it on the website. We're not kicking anybody out. This is how come on in. We're open for business. What's your history? What's your background? And what's your opinion of where we are here in American legalization?
Yeah, well, here on the American legalization, that could take me days to really get into it. I've kind of laughed at it, and even more so with, the limitations of the bets, the way the books are operating here, the European model, because the background is, and if I, look at the calendar date, I've been gambling for probably 40 years. I started betting on horses, and I've dated it back to 10 years old, but I believe I could probably go back to 9 or 8. And then sort of straight out of high school, where, I was playing Aussie rules. So in theory, I grew up, and the US map and the Australian map sort of flipped. So say Boston is kind of Melbourne, Miami is Brisbane, San Diego is Perth kind of thing. I lived in Melbourne, which is, as I've traveled, it's somewhat of a Boston mad sports state kind of thing. You have the 4 seasons, and you have your summer sports and your winter sports. So I played Aussie rules. And as I got to the end of high school, I was playing in the South in the winter, and then I would go north and play in the summer. So at that point in time, my plan was to play Aussie rules 12 months a year. And that was it. That was going to be what I was going to do. However, when I got to Darwin, Northern Territory was the one state that had legal sports betting the first year I was there, which is like your Nevada. And then I went back and did year 12, which then Victoria had sports betting, which again is where Melbourne's based. And then the last day was a physics exam, and the very next day I was back in Darwin. And then a few months later, I just got a job as a junior ticket writer in one of the sports books. So I've been on the betting side for probably 40 years, and now I'm, almost 30 years on the sitting behind the counter as well. And then the evolution was, I was a better when I was a bookie. So when I was sitting on the backside of the counter, I was way more disciplined. I was getting all the information. And then after sort of wearing out my welcome in Australia with, again, become better with, this was early days of the internet, I was getting information from Vegas. I was getting middles where you were plus 350 one side in Vegas and minus 150 in Australia.
Ooh,
like
wow.
it was an era that, you would dream about today. It doesn't exist because of the internet.
Will it ever exist again, Adam?
No, there's zero chance. And it didn't exist for many people back then. There was a handful of people that were traveling the world betting, and then building relationships in different parts of the world. You'd have UK accounts, you'd have Australian accounts, then you'd have the offshore, Caribbean accounts, and they weren't looking at each other. They'd look at each other if you were over this side on the US sports, but you weren't looking at tennis, golf, and Aussie rules. But in Australia and the UK, you'd be looking at soccer and things like that. They weren't looking at that over here. So, if I went back through it, and 80% of my bets were between 11 p.m. and 6 a.m., wherever that sportsbook sat, because no one had night shifts. No one took any effort in night shifts. So I'm guaranteeing, people would walk in the morning and just, look at the book and go, what the hell happened? And that was sort of I had a massive advantage for a very long time. And then one night, October 2000, just after going to the Sydney Olympics, I emailed 150 sports books. And within 24 hours, I was on a phone with Spiro at the Greek through a friend of a friend that introduced us. And that's where I've been on this side of the world ever since.
Tremendous. That's how it happens. There's a guy that knows a guy. You make a call, and that's how I ended up in Curacao in the late 90s and did my stint down there. Talk a little bit about Australia, because we have a group of people that love this show from Australia. And I've been telling people that Australia really loves their American sports, like the football, I think, and the basketball. Like, is there an appetite for U.S. sports down there?
Yeah, well, basketball and NBA is global. I mean, in New Zealand, very heavily bet in New Zealand and Australia. And obviously in Asia, it's one of their biggest sports. So you have that corridor where, basketball, and it's, 12 months of the year where you can get different kind of basketballs. Outside of the NBA, there's another 250 basketball leagues around the world. So again, if you like basketball, you've got that taste all year long. The NFL sort of really took off because once the Australian sports finish in September, where you have their grand finals or Super Bowls, then you've kind of got cricket, a little bit of tennis and some golf. And there was no real other big sport. So I remember, again, first in it, February was a dead month. October was a dead month. Well, then you add in those US sports and you've got that, running as well. So the calendar really fit back then. And then I think, you had Darren Bennett come over as a punter for the San Diego Chargers way back when, Sav Rocker that played, I think, with Philadelphia and whatnot. And it became a thing. When I was sort of, 16, 17, 18, they would have punting contests in Australia. Like there's a river in Melbourne that they would have tournaments and competitions of trying to punt an American football across the river, because it was starting to realize that, Australian footballers could kick a ball as well, if not better, than Americans. And then, what Aussie rules players were earning back then was very small compared to what you could earn in the NFL. And then that's kind of evolved. You now see, Australian basketball players that, we had Andrew Gaze in the 80s, 90s. So that evolution, and it's kind of just been, you make a lot more money as an athlete in the US than you do in Australia, although it's, grown a lot. And there was just certain positions in certain sports that we were just better at.
Right.
So, it's, and then I remember one time, I think it might have been Sav Rocker for Philly, punters actually tackle people. Like we grew up.
Dude, they do it good. They get them good.
Right. So then it's sort of just become an evolution. And now we've sort of seen, some of the rugby players or big Islander guys that have come out and started to play defensive line or offensive line positions as well. And then the other aspect that sort of hasn't taken that I thought might have is cricketers into baseball.
Okay.
Obviously we're used to catching balls without gloves. So give us a glove, it's a no-brainer. And then, potentially being able to hit the ball as well. So that's one that I've been surprised. I think it was a guy, Dave Nielsen at one point played for Milwaukee Brewers. There was a catcher. Again, growing up sort of, that's what brought these sports to Australia was individual athletes that moved across the pond and sort of made a name for themselves and then went back, and then training facilities and all these other opportunities started popping up. And then obviously college, become another part of it. Kids are coming over younger, they're going into the colleges, and then sort of growing up through that.
Well, the one part that I became the most exposed to New Zealand and Australia was the MMA world. Now it's a global sport, but the UFC with Alexander Volkanovski and just the rise to champion, the Iggy's of the world, the championship caliber mixed martial arts. How has the UFC grown over there? Because when they go to Perth to go to, I mean, it's like once every couple of years, the UFC goes over there. That's a sellout crowd and a rocking crowd. How big is the UFC in mixed martial arts in that?
Yeah, well, then again, Australia grew up on a boxing culture. We had Jeff Fennick. We had Costa Zoo come over and beat Zab Judah at the MGM. I think that was 2001. That's kind of where it's evolved from. You look back and we had boxers through the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, stuff like that start to step on the world stage. Well, boxing is kind of dying. The next evolution is MMA, UFC, things like that. So again, while you're usually out on the weekends wrestling wombats and kangaroos and stuff like that, you build up a strength. So, it just transitions to another skill set. And, here we are.
Do they really punch people, Adam? The kangaroos really punch people?
Kangaroos have punched people, yes. I do remember one as a very young age at the Melbourne Zoo where one did come up and grab me around gave me a hug, grabbed me, or jumped up, and it was, scares the shit out of a probably 10, 12-year-old. But it was when I moved to the Northern Territory in Darwin. I mean, these can be 6-7 foot, and that, if they kick you, you're pretty much screwed. So they're an interesting animal.
Tremendous.
Speaking of interesting animals, you mentioned that you're a horse guy. People allegedly say that I'm a horse guy. I'm not a horse guy. But how much of this business do you stay involved in the horses? Because I love the horse customers in the business. It's just one of those things that they are characters. They love to play. When they win, they tip good in the book. But how much of that business are you still around? And do you still like to maybe, should make some win bets or some exact bets?
So I am a horse guy through and through. I've been to the last 2 Kentucky Derbies.
Oh,
I'm planning on going back to Del Mar for the Breeders' Cup.
Oh,
I own and breed and race horses in Jamaica.
Okay.
I stood on the rails in Jamaica as a bookie with fixed odds. Again, 5-6 years ago for a period.
Can that be done?
And right now, Bet Makers, which is in New Jersey, and I think somewhere else, are currently doing that down there, where you can bet fixed odds at the track in Jamaica.
Wow.
So I'm into this up to my neck. I just claimed a horse in Churchill Downs about 6 weeks ago. Shipped it to Jamaica. They have a $250,000 race at the end of the year, a 1 mile race. So horses is what got me into this business. Horses, is my biggest expense in this business. But the future odds, the Kentucky Derby stuff, the Breeders' Cup stuff, I love those like I do the Masters kind of thing.
Adam, we've talked to people on this show and people I've talked to in New York from the racing commissions and trying to get the younger audience involved or interested. Betting, obviously, legalization around the country has opened up gambling to people of 21, 20s age. How do you get people to fall in love with horse racing? How did you fall in love with it? And how do you get the younger generation to fall in love with it?
Yeah, I think that's a big struggle. I know they're trying to push these fixed odds things. For me, that's beating a dead horse. It's a nice add-on, but it's not really going to save anything. The ownership, you've got to get them into the ownership. Without ownership, horse racing kind of dies away. And that's sort of one thing that the US has actually done pretty well in recent years. The purses now are significantly higher than some parts of the other world. But it doesn't have the culture that we grew up with in Australia. Like, again, Melbourne Cup, you either had the day off school or the school would stop and watch the race. So you grew up with this one race a year that the whole country sort of stopped. UK, stuff like that. It's the same sort of thing. Ireland. It's the culture that's inbred into you. And then I think that's sort of given Australians and UK people an advantage as they've transitioned into sports betting, of knowing the numbers, being able to sort of see a futures board and know where the value is and things like that in those aspects. It's slowing down. COVID was the best thing that happened to horse racing in recent years because it was the only sport in town for a while. So the sales went through the roof, and now that's starting to peter down a little bit. But it's a really, really tough thing to try and get more people into racing. I know here they're kind of trying to have less racetracks and then big sort of fancy days and making it more of an entertainment thing rather than a horse racing thing, which naturally one falls into the other, which is what, I've noticed the Kentucky Derby the last few years was about. There was really very few true hardened bettors. It was more of, people just going for a day out, enjoying themselves, the food and the drink and dabbling occasionally.
And the fancy hats. You always have to remember the fancy hats, like the Kentucky
100%.
Derby is turned into the fancy hats and things like that. Last one for me, sir, and this is going to be great. You're going to be with us every Thursday, or you or Joe, but if we do the, where's Bjorn every week, this will be great. Prime Sports, you guys are changing the narrative here in the space. And Joe's going to these commission hearings and all this other stuff. You're coming to Bet Bash. You're still making the rounds, doing things. Just tell the people a little bit about Prime Sports and why this model can work. Because a lot of people like to tell you the model won't work and you can't do it and its margins are too slim. And they give you every reason why, other than coming back behind the counter and joining you and helping you book the bets. But why is Prime Sports? Why do you believe in Prime Sports and what's going to happen with this thing?
Well, after having done this now for 12 months in Ohio and 6 months in New Jersey, the people might be right. I mean, in a sense of, and let me get into it a bit more. The economics in the US are insane. It's super expensive to run an operation. Salaries are a lot higher. The taxes are starting to get out of control in some states. Having to pay for GEO, KYC, all these other aspects of it. The excise tax, which is 0.25% on the volume. Now you've got BetRadar, BetGenius, and all these wanting to take their piece of the flesh and whatnot. So it's super hard to run this kind of model in this environment. However, and Circa sort of built up a lot of this model, but this model's been around for 30, 40 years. This is the model in Australia. This is the model offshore.
Yep.
And for me, it's really been, the goal is to regulate the unregulated or bring the offshore home. Now, the challenges of doing that as well is some people don't want to bet in a regulated market for tax reasons. Some people don't want to do it, for various different things. But I think there's a niche and a market, and that's why we've picked certain states. New Jersey was picked because it's an old state. It has some good bordering states. And on the technology side, it was the hardest state to go into. So we figured we'd go in there and the rest would be downhill, which it kind of has. Ohio, again, an opportunity come up. In hindsight, super tough state. We seem to be doing better in New Jersey. And I think because of the arbitrages, because we're letting the arbitrages come in, and there's not a single sports book in New Jersey that I don't want to be on the other side of that arbitrage opportunity. Whereas Ohio's more assassin type play. It's sharp people. We haven't got into the recreational space per se. Kentucky is a selfish spot for me. Again, can go back to the horses, hang around the farms.
Nice move.
However,
I like that.
from what I've got, I think they have 7 or 8 neighboring states, which is kind of where I looked at Tennessee at one point because I think they have 9. And then obviously potentially going to Arizona later this year because I'll never go to Nevada. It's too hard, too expensive. But, 15, 20-minute drive from downtown. And then you sort of have Texas nearby, New Mexico that's retail only, and California that's not there. But when you get into the crux of the business of whatnot, it's just taking bets. Take the bet, move the number. The one thing that the other operators have done so well is limiting and restricting people that shouldn't be limited or restricted. And they're starting to look for a place to bet in the regulated market. So, it's a hard slog. It's definitely, there's a lot easier ways to do this. Maybe we should have went into the sweepstakes business instead of into the regulated.
We'll touch on that, so don't worry.
But, the regulators are making it a lot harder than it should be with everything that's in place. But that's understandable. They're new to it. They're new to the space. Hopefully over time they can see to make it work. It has to be broadened a bit. Or they'll decide that they just want monopolies, and they'll be the DraftKings and the FanDuels of the world, and they won't worry about having a broader business. But all this is doing is building the gray market, building the offshore market, building the guy at the bar on the corner, where we thought 3 to 5 years for the offshore sort of rolling back. I think they have another 15 to 20 years possibly with all everything
back in business,
whatnot. So, but I do think for what Prime's doing and allowing everyone to bet and taking that information and moving the number and positioning the book overall based on certain people betting and that information, that there's a spot there. It's just you have to get, keep the expenses to a minimum. Up until last weekend, New Jersey was beating the players, but obviously the overheads in that are high. Ohio was slightly down on the players. But again, you open a sports book in this country and your first 1,000 customers are pure assassins that are coming to take off your head. And once you get through that, then ideally the goal is to build this through reputation and word of mouth, which was how the offshore was built. People went to want to bet where Billy Walters bet. So again, using guys like Spanky, Kentucky, hopefully Billy again, and some of these pros that are on Twitter and on this space of welcoming them in, then hopefully the casual guy that wants to, play like a Tom Brady or play like a Otani, or they'll follow that road and say, all right, this sports book puts up, they say they want to take a bet. I can beat an easy soft book. Let me go try and beat this place and sort of build myself a reputation of taking out, one of the better places. And that's kind of what this becomes. While there's a competitive underlying thing, it's the better bookie relationship of everybody's welcome. Come in, we'll help you how we can, be fair on the other side. Some of those limitation things that was brought up at Massachusetts I agree with it. Take your bots out of here. I've got no interest in competing with bots that are just fighting latency. Nothing can be perfect, but come in, fair limits, come through the front door instead of sending bids, and we'll deal with it. And I think ultimately between now and the World Cup, which is 64 Super Bowls in 40 days, it's kind of just get as much business as we can, get a few more states, and see where we stand after that come, August 2026.
Last question. In one of the states you guys operate, New Jersey, the Jets haven't beaten the Patriots in New Jersey since 2015. I'm a Patriot fan, clearly. Any thoughts on today? 6.5, Patriots dogs on the road here against the Jets.
Yeah, so funnily enough, I've seen on the money line, it's mostly Patriots money that I've seen. On the spread, is a bit more of a Jets lean in that side. And then it seems like it's definitely been bet on the underside across the board. But this is one of those games that football fans or whatever have sort of been following now for 20 years since sort of Brady come in, the spy gates and different things. Like it's kind of the rivalry that an outsider that doesn't have any sort of skin in the game in the NFL just knows this, as an Australian, this matchup, this rivalry kind of thing. So for Thursday night, prime time, it's sort of the perfect spot. And then ultimately,
thank God though, Adam, that we don't have Tom Brady to talk about because it would be completely nauseating. I'm done with Tom Brady. That's good. So it sounds like to me, just on the way out, a Jets win 1-6 might be the best case scenario.
It's by a field goal right now, I think, is what's looking like the best thing. With plenty of points. So something like 33-30 or something like that would be nice.
Perfect. Adam, good stuff, man. We'll talk to you down the line. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate it. Welcome to BVB.
All right. Look forward to seeing you again soon.
Adam from Brian Sports joining us here on the Bostonian versus the book. Great to get him on our first conversation with him.
Adam's a horse guy.
He's a horse guy. So
he owns horses.
So when we need a horse guy, we know where we're going.
We got a horse. That's the horse guy.
That's our horse guy.
Buying, selling horses, shipping them to Jamaica. Are you kidding me? We got a horse guy.
Be fun to go. It would be fun to go actually down there. So glad you guys liked that. That was fun. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the conversation with Adam. That was really enjoyable to get into it. The accent alone is worth the price of admission for him. That's cool to have him come on and talk here in the Australian accent and just hearing different things.
Is there a better accent than the Australian accent?
Is there? I don't like accents. I don't like accents, period. But I don't mind Australian accents. I don't mind.
What do you mean you don't like accents?
I don't like accents. British and Australian, I don't mind. If I had to pick, like, if what one will I listen to, that's the one I listen to. But I don't like Boston accents. I don't like Chicago accents. I don't like, hardcore Southern accents. I don't like.
You don't like the Southern accent?
No, I don't. I don't like accents. I just don't like accents. I just don't like them. Period. Across the board. Like, it's not. I'm not discriminating against anybody, but like, I don't like anybody on accents. Like, just. My father always told me. My dad used to tell me that if you talk with a thick accent, it lowers your IQ by 10 points.
Really?
That's what he did. So there we go. That's just what it was.
That was wrong.
Okay. So I would not have been able to have been anywhere in broadcasting if I did not know that the letter R existed in the alphabet.
Oh, I mean, that Boston accent is absurd.
It's absurd.
Sometimes it's so pigeonholed, whatever. But
like New York accents suck. Philadelphia accents suck. Boston accents suck. They all suck. They all just. I don't like any of them.
I love the Southern accent. I don't know why. I just do. I mean,
you can't AOWN. You can't understand somebody with a Scottish
accent. That's a tough one.
When they speak, you're like, what words are you saying? I don't understand what words you are actually talking about.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, I'm not a very big fan of anyone. I don't have an accent. Maybe in your ears I do, but I don't have a real accent. You don't know where I'm from when I speak. People are always like, where are you from? Because I'll say some words. I'll say what now? That's not a Boston thing. That's a Southern thing. People are like, wait a minute. If someone says what now? That's a Southern term. Like, so I have Southern things. I have Midwestern terms that I've said. I forget what I say. Sometimes it's Midwestern, but spent time all over the country. So I've got kind of a hodgepodge of different things, but I don't say ka. I don't say pak.
Yeah, you don't have a thick Boston accent, but every once in a while you dial it up. I mean,
when I want to, I can dial it up, but I don't have it. But Philly puts R's where they're not supposed to. We say water. They say water.
Yeah, water. Everybody talks differently. The New York accent is,
Lada.
New York accent is kind of annoying.
Oh, it's more than kind of annoying.
I think it's annoying. I love the long O's up in the North Midwest. Like
don't you know?
Minnesota.
Don't you know? It's all
organization.
About
organization.
All that stuff.
There.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. Canadian accent is good. Different Canadian accents, different parts of Canada, different things. I love accents. I don't know. I think
they're all bad. They're all bad. The Yankees clinched a playoff spot. They're still plus 450 to win it all. Any interest?
I just think, I don't know, the way it's shaping up. It's Yankees are going to be in the ALCS one way or the other.
Well, here's a wild stat. Aaron Judge has 26 more RBIs than anybody else in baseball. That is the largest lead since Ted Williams had 30 more in September of 1942.
That's pretty good.
I mean, we haven't seen this type of offensive productivity from one player in a long time. In a year where there's no offense, Aaron Judge is running away with the offensive productivity.
In a year in which there's like two guys that are hitting in the Yankee lineup between him and Soto, and that's it.
That's it.
So for him to have that many more RBIs than everybody else, let alone he has to knock those runs in for the Yankees to win, and they are doing it. So, yeah.
See, it's so funny.
This is historic. If he wins a Triple Crown, like, this has to be one of those seasons discussed. Like, how can this be where two guys, one's going to do 50-50, and the other guy may win the Triple Crown? Like, there should be stopping for the last week of baseball all next week.
But there's not. I agree, but there's not. You know what's funny? So I geek out all the time. So I'm watching Lord of the Rings the Rings of Power season 2 is tremendous. It's absolutely tremendous.
You have time right now to watch Lord of the Rings
at night.
What am I doing wrong?
At night, at like 11:30 at night when I go to sleep, I watch an hour show and then I go to bed. I go to bed 12:30 every night and I watch from 11:30 to 12:30. I watch an episode. So it's really good. It's on Amazon. It's really, really good. Season 1 wasn't great, but season 2 is really good. So I'm always like looking for signs and stuff, right? Like crazy signs. This is how sports betting has totally fucked my brain.
Oh boy.
Dave, I went and bought a pair of Jordans. Straight up, walked in, looked at the color scheme, and I went, you know what? I really like that color scheme. It looks nice. Give me that. I want that. It was Madeline. I'm like, Madeline, what do you think? She's like, those are really cool, Daddy. I like those a lot. Those look good. I put them on. I wore them. I went to school yesterday. I came home and I literally had to stop myself and I went, oh my God, what did I do? Dave, I bought Yankee designed Jordans.
They have a Yankee logo.
They're no logo. It's straight Yankee colors. In my life, 5 years ago, little in 10, 5 years ago, I would have looked at that and gone, that's disgusting. I'm never putting that on my body. But I'm now just in this gambling space where I don't care anymore. It's just numbers in teams. It's not teams in jerseys. It's not laundry anymore. It's just numbers. So I don't care anymore about the Yankees that I'll wear a Yankee designed shoe on my foot. I'm officially past the Rubicon.
Right.
I'm officially onto the side of I have no emotion anymore to sports.
Okay. So here's the deal. You want to talk about the weather and all this other stuff, the weather portion of the show. We're going to write this one down. Sonic, Wrench, Mikey Awesome, Wrench, Addison, whomever. If the Yankees win the World Series,
watch.
You will have a Yankee hat on. 100%. If the Yankees win the World Series, because it don't pay you no more. So that's perfect. Hold them up. Boy, those are clean. Those are clean. I got to admit, those are clean.
Those are Yankees. That's a Yankee shirt. That's a Yankee shoe.
That's, yeah, I mean, that could be ODU too. That's a little ODU.
That is a Yankee Jordan.
That's good. That's nice. So you're going to wear a Yankee hat on the show when they win the World Series. You're going to. I don't know. It don't pay you no more. It don't pay you no more. That's it.
That's got Yankees all over them. I agree. I didn't realize it until I got home. Yeah. I got home. I looked down and I went, "What did I do?"
Yeah.
What did I do? It could be. I don't know. I don't see Cowboys. I guess you could pass it off as Cowboys. I feel better about that being the Cowboys. Could be Georgetown, kind of, I guess, but I just see Yankees. I see white, navy, and gray, and I'm like, oh no, those are Yankee shoes.
You know what they really could be?
What?
You can come over to this side. We are.
Oh, I'm okay with Penn State. I'm okay. Although the Navy's not dark enough to be Penn State.
No? Oh, I have to see them in person. They look like it's pretty. I
don't know if that's dark enough to be Penn State. I'm way more comfortable saying they're Penn State shoes. They're not Creighton. I wish, Pierre. The blue is too dark. The Creighton blue is more of a royal. That's more of a royal.
Oh.
What kind of sticker shock they give me? Nah, Roger, I'm used to buying those things. That's not, it's $120 for shoes is nothing these days.
Look at this. This could be could double kind of as a Creighton hat. I just created this one.
Nah.
I went off the mic.
It's awesome. I need the blue to be, if it was all white and that blue maybe, and then that would be, but maybe Creighton's not dark blue like that.
I know.
They have very little dark blue. Man, I woke up this morning and there was a huge post from Field of 68 breaking down the Blue Jays today. I got all psyched for college basketball. I was all excited.
You really do nerd out.
Oh, let's go. I was so excited. Like, let's start talking college basketball. Creighton's got the best big in the game. Kalkbrenner's back. They got Ashworth back. They got a 6-year senior point guard and they got a 5th-year 7'2" center.
It's not the college basketball portion.
Doesn't matter. Creighton's going to be good, like really good. Creighton's going to be really good, really, really good.
And this is when everybody clips the portion of the show where Matt Peralt talks about Creighton being good, really good, really good, really good.
They were
good, and then bets them. They were good last year,
and they're going to get 4. I haven't been wrong. They haven't gone to a Final Four yet, but
we need to
Cubby, look. Houston, Alabama. I am going to be front and center watching when Houston and Alabama play next in 2 months here in Vegas. 1 versus 2. I haven't seen a 1 versus 2 since I watched UMass play Wake Forest. in 1996. Cannot wait to watch 1v2.
I saw Zags in UCLA just here a few years ago.
That was 1v2?
Yeah, they were
Very cool.
maybe 1 and 3, but Gonzaga was 1.
Yeah.
And then Gonzaga Duke was the same week with Coach K's last games. So it was fun. We 20,000 people, college basketball. Awesome.
Let's go. Brewers are back in the playoffs. They won for the second straight time. They are 22-1 to win it all. Any interest in Milwaukee, even without one of their biggest bats?
Ooh, yeah. Falling for the Milwaukee again. It's happening again. Every time I start looking at the futures and I go, okay, why can't they win? I'd love them for not to be the 2 seed if there's a way to actually catch the Doyers. Because the Phillies keep winning, they're going to get the 1 seed. But the Brewers can get the 2 seed, set up the pitching. They're so sound. They don't beat themselves. Got a great manager. Did you see the celebration video in the locker room after with Bob Uecker?
Big clip. Yeah, I got a slight clip of it.
Yeah, Bob Uecker peed his pants. He said they did the celebration and they got Bob Uecker there and they said nothing better than being with this guy, and the clubhouse went nuts and they shook all the champagne and were spraying it all over, and Bob Uecker just blurts out, "I think I just peed my pants." It was priceless. It was great. Like if we could do a short, if you could do a short having me saying, "I think I just peed my pants," and then put that clip of him underneath, Bob Uecker peed his pants. JC from KC saw it. It was great. Can they win it all? Absolutely. I'm telling you right now, I don't know what's going to change between now and the end of the season next Sunday. I think it's wide open again. It's wide open again.
Okay. White Sox have now lost 117 games this season, third most losses since 1900 in Major League history. As the count to history is on, they start a 3-game series at the Padres tonight.
You want to go?
Do they get to 120 in this series? They lose all 3. They're at 120.
Yeah, I might get up Sunday morning and just drive to San Diego and go watch them play in person and lose.
That could be history. You can watch them lose 120. Tie history.
There. Yeah, if anybody wants to go.
American League history.
Oh, no, I got something to do Sunday. That's right. I cannot go. I cannot go on Sunday. Big plans on Sunday. I'll tell you about it at the end of the show.
Oh,
just
good.
found out about that this morning. Did they get swept?
Yes.
Swept?
Padres need it. Yeah. Padres need every game. They need every game.
Let's see here. What's the price tonight? So they don't play tonight. They play tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow?
That's tomorrow.
Okay, sorry.
That's
what? On they have a Thursday off in September?
Must be the last off day of the season, right?
That's bizarre. Really?
Yeah, Friday. Let's see. Interleague. Yep, Friday.
Wow, that's bizarre.
Crochet and Musgrove. The total's 7. It's minus 250 advanced number.
Sorry, I thought it was tonight. So it's tomorrow. But still. So it would be, so it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay. So Sunday, we could watch that and have that loss with that. I don't know. Bad. All right. Can a reliever win the AL Cy Young?
Class A?
Because this kid's numbers from Class A are crazy. He's 25-1. Okay. 5 earned runs in 70 1/3 innings pitched. He has a .64 ERA. That's the 4th lowest in Major League Baseball history when you've thrown at least 50 or more innings pitched. 4th lowest. He leads in saves. He's converted 33 straight. He has a 64-8 K to walk ratio.
64-8?
And he would be the first Major League Baseball pitcher to lead the respective league in saves in 3 straight years. Only 9 relievers have ever won this, Dave.
Okay. Counselor Peralt. That's
Eric Gagne.
That's a very well sounding, very.
I know Scooble's winning it, but it is interesting to look at this and go, it's not just a runaway. Like Scooble's running away with it. Like the odds are so far ahead that Scooble's winning it. But I think we're just totally overlooking the fact that this guy's having a historic run year, not just 1 year, multiple years.
Relieving, different than starting.
Gagne won it in 03. Why can't a reliever win it?
I'm saying he did, and I'm not saying that He can't, but he ain't winning it. The 3-1-3 Scooble is going to win it. He could get the triple crown of pitching stats. It's crazy what
But he's not
Scooble's
going to get ERA.
In any other year,
Starter
in any other
ERA.
year, Class A would win it.
Yeah.
This is why I like Cleveland in the playoffs. This guy ain't getting hit. This is, now that you're a Yankee fan, Mariano Rivera recreated. You got Yankee shoes. You're a Yankee guy now. This is what you need. Cleveland got the bullpen in the American League. I've been so close with them the last couple of years with them exactas. I mean, seriously, 2 years ago, if Cleveland just gets to the World Series, we're talking like, we're going to go on a vacation to an island and we may buy a horse. That's how big the stuff was going to be. It was life-changing for me at the time. No, it's I don't want to say it's worth a shot throwing it out there, but I mean, like Kevin and I talked about it.
It's voted.
It was 200-1 back in, I believe it was May or June.
Okay.
And I said, well, it's worth a shot. So we've been bringing it up every once in a while on the grid. And it was 200-1 back then. And now it's 25-1. And again, that's great CLV. But if it don't get you to the window, it don't mean shit.
Fair. So this question was posed to me this morning by a brigade member. And I'm actually curious to get your take on this. It's a little current eventy. It's a little different than what we talk about, but we've talked so much about the way people bet.
Uh-huh.
So this person asked me, the Fed dropped rates by 0.5 point yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
Mortgage rates are at the lowest since February of 2023. And they asked me, they said, hey, ask Dave if you do a poll. And I just figured I'll just ask you and we can do a poll if you want to. If we don't have to, we don't have to. But
okay.
Do people bet more this football season if their mortgage rates go down? If they're more liquid,
oh God,
do people in America bet more? Because if you look at the demographic, their point was this. If you look at the demographic, right, men between the ages of 30 and 50, right, are pretty much the demographic for gamblers. Sure, there's some kids in the 20s, but mostly 30 to 50, which is pretty much your primary first home buyer type of situation. You get married, you buy your first house, right?
Fair.
So if all of a sudden your mortgage drops by $200 a month,
hello,
you got $200 more to play with every month. Do handles go up? It's football season.
It might. It really might. Like, I seen it. I seen it when it happened before in Vegas. Like I was just new here, and rates dropped, and like they made houses available to everybody, and they made a lot of mistakes. But people were coming here in droves and spending money, like way more than they normally would have because they were liquid. For whatever reason, they were
5 or 6 extra pizza parlays a month.
How about that?
I'm just saying, but I'm just saying in terms of like, if you're buying a house or you refinance a house, like I know if you lock in on your rate, you're annoyed because your rates go down. So you want to refinance your house, or you're going to buy a new house. But people who are in the market, if they're going to buy a house like this month or next month or whatever, and they're expecting to spend $3,000 a month on their mortgage, and their mortgage is $2,500 a month now because of the rate drop or whatever it turns out to be, this person's point was, does this mean that men would be more inclined to go and gamble that money? Would they be more inclined to have more, more income to play with, and so be more inclined to bet more?
Some people might. I personally wouldn't, and I don't think that, a lot of times you should. I mean, we say it all the time here about being responsible, knowing your limits, and gamble with money that you can afford to lose. So when you win, it's even better, but at the same time, you're not gambling with the rent money or the mortgage.
Well, no, it's not gambling with the mortgage per se. I know what you're saying. I'm just talking about it in terms of if you have more discretionary income at your disposal,
right?
Because you're paying less for your cost of living. Do we see handles in October rise because people have more ability to bet, more to bet?
After week 2 of the NFL, I don't know if people are excited. More people are excited that the NBA is starting in a few weeks.
Fair. That's true.
Like
That's
they're already looking towards college football more. I really think college football handle is going to benefit the most of all this?
Will be a lot cheaper to bet the house now.
Clown MB3.
Good line.
For those of you that aren't watching live, he said, will be a lot cheper to bet the house now. Yeah.
I like
Thank
it.
you, Clown MB3. Good job.
So just something to keep in mind. So as we go through the numbers, as states look to progress and report, we'll see what they wind up doing. But scared money doesn't make money.
Oh, boy, Yorkie. Scared money doesn't make no money. I hear that all the time. I used to hear that in the book all the time.
OnlyFans rates will go up.
OnlyFans rates. Jeez, Mooch. You might be right about that.
All
That's the
right.
thing. What else is going to go up? If the interest rates go down, what goes up?
Well, I think just, normally in times
Gambling
like that,
goes up.
Gambling goes up. Like Vegas's best times are when the economy is healthy. Vegas does the best. Like that's just people go out and they're willing to come to Vegas more and they're willing to spend more and bet more. And, they just feel more liquid. They feel like they're more comfortable. So they'll be more willing to be loose.
But I mean, do people drink more? Do people
Of course.
smoke more? Do people do
Yes.
more other stuff?
Yeah, they go out to eat more. They get takeout
Okay.
more. Like
Okay.
you do everything. You do everything that's bad, basically. It's all your vices. You do your vices more when you have more money to spend.
Yeah.
So that'll also be a competition to watch for sure with this. All right, Patriots and the Jets. These numbers are wild, okay, for the Patriots and the Jets. Now, I'm not saying the Jets are losing tonight, but let's just talk about this. The Patriots,
here it goes. He's not saying the Jets are going to lose tonight, but
the Patriots haven't been favored versus the Jets since week 10 of 2011.
the Jets haven't been favored.
Yes,
Said
haven't
the
been
Patriots.
favored. Jets haven't been favored versus the Patriots. Home or away. They've not been favored against the Patriots since week 10 of 2011.
They had that guy,
Fine.
Tom Brady.
The Jets are 9-37 straight up over the last 46 games.
What is that?
9-37. They're 20-26 ATS. Even when you put the number in play, they're losers. Patriots haven't lost to the Jets in New York, New Jersey since 2015.
It is in New Jersey. For those of you that don't know, it's in Rutherford, New Jersey.
2015.
Shadow of the kids.
It's been a long time since the Patriots lost to the Jets in New York or New Jersey.
What the hell?
They better win tonight. They don't win tonight. I'm going to say this. The Jets season can unravel tonight. If they lose this game tonight to the Patriots, time. Time.
Yeah.
This could be like, wait, I thought our defense was going to be the best in football. I thought Aaron Rodgers was winning the MVP. I thought we were winning the AFC East. Everything just goes if they lose tonight. If you can't beat the Patriots in Mayo, Belichick's gone. Brady's gone. Like they had Belichick last year. They still beat him. They still beat him with Rodgers got hurt. Fine. Rodgers got hurt. Patriots still beat him. That was with Belichick. Now it's Mayo. Belichick baby. Let's see what happens.
Put it up. New poll right now. Put the point spread up. We got to see.
It's 6 now, right?
6. Laying or taking, boys and girls. We're going to vote right now.
They're all going to lay it.
Jets -6. No, I don't know. That's our audience.
I know. Maybe not, but a lot of people are on the Jets laying the points tonight.
A lot of people are on the Patriots too.
I don't know. I've seen Patriot money line. I think a lot of Patriot money line bets are coming in.
Well, this is what Adam, and again, Adam killed it today. That was outstanding. That was awesome. I'm glad he's going to join us or Joe every Thursday. And again, thank you to Prime for being a part of the show. The sweet spot for the book, a lot of times in games like this, and you just said it, is when they bet the dog on the money line and they lay the points with the favorite.
Jets
You're
by
taking
3.
bets at -110 mostly, or some books -104, like Prime, or like our other guy, Sport Trade and Reduced Juice places, whatever. And you have a middle pregame, because if it falls Jets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, the money line bets for the Patriots don't cash, and all the Jets -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5 don't cash. 6 pushes. So, hello.
Contour, you can't. This is money. Take your emotion out of it for a second. Deal with 6 championships some other time. Bet with what you think. Don't worry about what I talk about the Patriots. That's the whole point. So if you're betting to spite me, that's your problem.
I'm going to read this to the people. Contour 22. Contour 22. Thank you for being here, sir. I take the Pats, but the way you talk makes me want to spike bet against them.
Go ahead.
You are a jinx with a no-hitters, and now you're making people spike bet against you.
That's fine. That's if you want to do that, go right ahead. I mean, that's your problem with that. Covey, that ain't happening. That ain't happening.
Oh boy,
ain't happening.
Covey, Jacoby ain't throwing a pick.
Jacoby ain't throwing picks. Jacoby, no picks are being thrown in this game on either side. You're talking about the two most unlikely intercepted quarterbacks in the NFL over the last 5 years, Brissett and Rodgers. They don't throw picks. Rodgers 1, Brissett 2.
That could be a no-no. We could do a no-no parlay.
Yeah, ain't happening. No picks are
no
coming.
Pick.
Brissett's not getting picked off, and and Rodgers isn't. Right. He's not throwing the ball enough to get picked off. Yeah, right. Exactly.
He's Hastings, thank you. He not throwing.
Covey, everyone's going to try to do that. Do whatever they want. They can try to do that they want. They throw tight ends and running backs. They throw dink and dunk. They don't. Sauce Gardner is going to get like one pass attempt to defend all night. They don't throw the wideouts. Look at the Patriots offense. They don't throw to wide receivers ever. They throw
Good thing
tight
about
ends.
This game is it's probably going to be over fast. It's going to be quick.
Oh, you mean time-wise? Yes.
Time-wise. A lot of running the ball, a lot of clock running.
Yep.
Pass attempts under for Patriots, most likely.
Yep.
I
would agree.
It's one of those things that kind of you see and you go, okay, what's on the docket tonight? What am I watching? Apparently, you're going to be watching Lord of the Rings.
That's late night. That's after the game. Watching the Patriots, obviously. I mean, come on now. It's the Patriots. After the game. Lord of the Rings, for sure. Yeah, 100%. All right, so it's a Thursday in our Friends at Action Network. I mean, Evan Abrams says an incredible article every week.
What day should we have him on? Should we
whenever.
have him on Thursdays
we'll
or Fridays?
Clear off the deck to have him on because the work he's doing for Action is some of the research he's pulling up is incredible stuff for college football. It does it for the pros too. We did the pros on Friday and we did the college on Thursday. Florida State could become the first team since 2008 to be favored in all three, or they were the first team since 2008 to be favored in all three games and lose them all. They were favored by double digits in one of the games and lost.
Who'd they lose that game to?
Somehow, Florida to Boston College.
Boston College, that's right.
So somehow, Florida State is favored against Cal.
Yeah.
They're laying 2.5. If they lose, they would join only the 2000 Utah team as a team to go 0-4 as favorites straight up since 2016.
Come on, bro.
We just don't see this where the books are this wrong. They keep on making the team favored. I don't know how you don't like Cal this weekend.
We'll dive into that a little bit more ultimately tomorrow, but that's a very curious question. Outstanding work by Evan. Outstanding work by you bringing it up. I brought it up earlier today with Bob down at Fox Sports in Knoxville. I asked him, I should have seen this one, and I didn't. I saw the other one. Do you know, have you seen the Florida-Mississippi state line?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have it here.
Are you kidding me? What's more surprising, Florida State's favored versus Cal, or Florida's favored on the road -6 at Mississippi State? P-Roll, how bad are the Bulldogs?
Give me the Bulldogs. They're 1-7 ATS. Florida, they've lost 4 straight games on the number. Billy Napier is in deep trouble. I mean, I don't care who they play, the freshman or it's Graham Mertz. I'm never betting on Graham Mertz ever.
What did Graham Mertz ever do to you?
Sucked at Wisconsin and sucks at Florida. That's what Graham Mertz has done to me. He's awful.
The wheels are off. He's coming at everybody.
No, I can't say.
NIL,
I've been fading Graham Mertz. I told you this in week 1. I bet Miami heavy to go ahead and beat Florida in week 1. It was Graham Mertz. It was Cam Ward versus Graham Mertz. It wasn't even a fair fight. It's a rout. Miami took him behind the woodshed and beat the crap out of him and then tried to steal their recruits. It's just, you can't do that. You hurt your arm? You're right.
I hit my elbow on a damn armrest. It hurts. Mother's a funny bone. It's not funny. You know when you hit your funny bone and everybody, it's funny. It's not funny. Hurts. It goes all the way through my fingers. Damn it.
Yeah, Florida is god awful. I'm not saying Mississippi State's any good, but I mean, that number is crazy. 6 is crazy.
Yeah,
that's what are we doing? That's nuts. Oklahoma is +7 against Tennessee. This is the largest home dog for OU since 1998 when they were 7-point home dogs to Texas Tech. OU won that game 20-17 In fact, OU is 3-2 straight up since 1998 as a home dog. You just don't walk into Norman, Oklahoma and beat the Sooners in their building. And when they're dogs, I mean, I know some of the numbers were small, like 3 or 2.5. This is 7.
Are we falling for it?
What do you mean?
Are we falling for you have to take the home dog in a situation? I mean, guys like our guys that we follow and you guys may follow on the socials report stuff, numbers from the books. This is the most single side bet game. Tennessee by far. Like it's in the 90s. Not unlike the temperature here today. Not even close to the 90s. But this is in the 90s percentile of how many people are betting Tennessee to go and lay one on Oklahoma. And by laying one on, I mean winning by more than 7 points. I don't know. We're seeing it. I mean, and this is an SEC game. It's so weird to say. We got a couple other matchups here that are conference games that are not normal conference games. Tennessee first half, just play that and be done with it. Like, don't worry about it.
So that is a cash cow, right? Heupel
Every week
was a quarterback at OU. Okay. He knows it really well. Heupel is now 43, 17-2 ATS over the last 6 seasons across 2 teams, UCF and UT. They're favored by 3.5 in the first half this week. That hook scares me. Not going to lie.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared. I think if they him having all that history there and everything, that is really going to help them, like going in there, right? Can't think of too many guys that'd be more prepared to get their team prepared to go to a place,
right?
Than him, right? Obviously, you think it plays out where they trade scores? Like this might be one of those ones that it's over in the first half. You bet over in the first half, where it's kind of a not a track meet, but like we're at, I don't know, 2017 in the first half, something like that. What's the total on the game? Let me
high.
58.5. Well, I would have had him
57.5 right now.
Hold on. Yeah. Wow.
56.5 at DraftKings.
Jeez.
Open to 58. Been bet down.
Yeah, I would have thought 60 was my
Yes,
first
there is
thought.
Addison. FanDuel has it at 3.5 right now.
Okay.
It's up right now. FanDuel, DraftKings both have it.
Is there a Tennessee team total up yet?
Oh, why? You like that? That scares me.
No, that's the reason why they lose, right? Is they don't score.
Yeah.
They get into a game that they didn't see coming with Oklahoma. But I mean, is Oklahoma's defense any good yet? It's so soon. It's September 19th. We're talking about these games like we have a real basis of knowledge.
33.5 Tennessee team total. 24.5 Oklahoma.
33.5.
First half. Bet the first half. Later 3.5.
Okay.
Out of the gate. Big emotion. I agree. Big emotional game. All in the first half. Second half could be much different.
Wow, Football Guy 97. Thank you, sir, for being here. In my opinion, this game comes down to OU tackles against the Tennessee pass rush. So it's kind of a given in the handicap if you listen to people.
Oh, that was short-lived. Holy crap. It's now 4.5.
Yeah. Well,
that lasted a second. Now it's 4.5.
Well, we just kind of, I mean, appreciate you guys watching the show in the room. Thank you. I mean, we didn't think we could move numbers just like that. That was pretty good. Yeah.
That just got moved. It was 3.5 an hour ago. Now it's 2. Now it's 4.5. It's a full point.
Man, it must have been a send out.
Crap.
Well, I mean,
okay.
You have to move. That's how you move a first half. What are you going to move it to 4? You have to
move it to
here's
Covey. Stop. Sauce Gardner's not getting a pick tonight. Stop.
Oh man, Covey, you're on the show tomorrow. If Sauce gets a pick, stay ready.
No, it's not getting a pick tonight.
Send your picks in if you're doing it on a brigade prostitute,
right?
By the way.
Yeah. I just wonder.
What are you thinking about right now?
It's bizarre to me that the number for the game didn't move, but the first half number did.
Yeah.
I'm
watching the show. You just said
I know. It just pisses me off. It just makes me mad.
Why?
Because it moved it in. Why can't I get 8 then? Give me 8.
You might.
Okay. Well, give me 8.5 then. 4.5. Give me 9. Half of
What is this,
4.5.
name your tune.
No, I'm just saying
if
you're going to jump from 3.5 to 4.5 and you don't move the number, it's still 7.5 or 7. Number hasn't moved. Like, why is it 8? Why is it 9?
Because one necessarily.
They're shading it. It pisses me off. I get mad.
Maybe somebody bet it.
They probably did. Yes, probably somebody did bet it.
71. I mean, we're giving it out. Everybody's
Makes
giving
me
it
mad.
out.
It just makes
Well,
me
now
mad.
it's weird because I just clicked refresh and it's -7.
See?
On
It's
the
7
game
in the first step number is 4.5. Nah. That makes me mad. Move the damn number. Yeah, they're absolutely
Take
protecting.
the 4.5 then.
They're absolutely. I don't want to take 4.5. That's going against a major trend. I'm going to bet it every year. I said. I told you that. We're sitting at dinner. I'm going to bet first half UT every game. See what I wind up with at the end of the year. I'm 3-0 so far.
Geez, I want a quick shout out to the boys at Hennessy's. They're watching out in Long Beach. They're all watching the show on the phones. The TVs are down.
Oh,
they
no.
usually finish their pickleball games and go hang out and have lunch with the BVB and the brigade. And Gio DeWap is there, and they're watching them. He's sitting at the bar watching us all on the phones. Everybody's watching us on the phone. Hit the like button. Each one of you watch on the phone.
Happens, It happens. It's annoying, but it happens.
Yeah.
Speaking of Southern California, USC has not won or covered a game in the Eastern or Central time zone since 2011 when they did so at Notre Dame.
What a transition. This is like we've done this show almost 700 times. It's unreal. You follow the rundown. I follow the rundown. We're just moving and grooving, and guys are texting us from all over the country watching the show. SoCal, Southern Cal, Trojans going to Michigan, and this is a Big Ten conference game. Don't forget to put your picks in if you're still surviving in the BVB, Survivor Big Ten proxy contest on Splash. Is this number too high?
I don't know. This is a no-play game for me. I don't know what to make of this. I think I want to run with the public and go and lay the 5.5, but I don't know. Everyone's on this. Everyone's on USC.
Yeah. How's the poll
This feels like a
looking?
banana in the tailpipe game to me.
So the Patriots are getting all of the votes so far overwhelmingly.
Wow.
In the poll. Give the boys and girls a college poll. College has something to vote on right now. This game. A very interesting. Very, very interesting game. We got Michigan getting 5.5 at home against USC. USC's laying -5.5. Michigan plus 5.5. 313. People love this show. Watch this show and all these other things. We need to vote. I don't know what I'm voting right now. I have to think about this.
If I'm voting, I'm picking USC, but I don't know if I'm betting it. I gotta wait and see. I don't know. I don't like teasing college games, guys. So saying tease it down. No.
Don't tease college football. Stop teasing college football. If you're doing it, don't do it. It usually, I don't want to say, I can't give a percentage. It doesn't benefit you. If you feel comfortable doing it, that's what you want to do, go ahead.
You only pay the juice when you lose. So
it's not a math thing. It's
get the
usually,
point.
All right, Butchie, I know. Shh. Deuces. Not supposed to keep telling people how to do this stuff all the time, but good luck if you'd like to tease it down.
Your boy James Franklin at Penn State is 20-13-1 against the number as a favorite of 20 or more. Penn State's laying 49 to Kent State.
And a half, by the way. And a half. That's a big hook. It could win this thing 52-3. You know what that would be? 49. Somebody finally woke up and moved that total. That was 54 and a half. It's 55 and a half. The final score is 52-3. Again, it's a math problem. They just do the math. You don't do the math. I can't say I want to lay it. You want to lay it?
I mean, you're asking for a 10-point last-second touchdown by Kent State to blow it.
Does Kent State score, yes or no?
Yes.
They score touchdown?
In garbage time, potentially, yes.
71-0 last week to Tennessee.
Yep. I mean, this is what James Franklin does. He takes people apart. So I don't know. I mean, I just
touchdown. Drew Aller for the Heisman talk starts after the Kent State game.
My
Penn
AP
State.
at school went to Kent State. He said bet Penn State. Worked at Kent State. Bet Penn State.
My AP at the school I work at went to Kent State. We just don't put in all the prepositions. That's okay, Football Guy 97. I love you, sir. I've never met you, but I love you, genuinely. He said bet PSU ATS. They're not going to score. They may get a field goal to avoid a shutout. But
Okay.
you want to talk about, I mean, you're really earning that money. Those kids are earning that money. They go to Tennessee and lose 71-0, and their present is to go to Beaver Stadium and get waxed by the Nittany Lions.
Not good.
Does James Franklin call off the dogs at some point?
I wouldn't let. I'm not betting. I'm not laying 49 points. It's an obscene number. It's just Penn State's got bigger fish to fry than win this game by 60.
Right.
Just Tennessee deciding to lay it on the way they laid it on makes more sense. Like that's just, I get it. And they're up, whatever, by 40 at the half. So I get why they hung what they hung. But Penn State, I don't think will need to or want to this type of number. This is obscene. Miami's laying 17 points at South Florida. Miami is 24-22-1 against the number against Florida schools over the last 20 years. However, they're 15-4 against the number on the road or a neutral site against Florida opponents. Again, they're at South Florida. 15-4. When they go on the road, Hurricanes tend to send a message.
Alex B. Smith said Penn State first half over in the Penn State game. Not a bad
Team
call,
total
Alex.
or the game?
Game. Penn State first half over.
Okay.
This game.
Bulls money line. Come on.
AOWN. Calm down. Relax. It's all about the U. The U's winning the game. They're not losing this game. We're doing a little, Cam Ward is going to continue to light them up. I mean, come on.
I think they kill him. I may lay it. I may lay the 17 points with Miami. I think Cam Ward goes in there and puts a number up.
Backdoor cover possibility here, though?
Yeah, team total potentially Miami may be a better bet.
Right.
Just have them go in there and just watch them put up 40.
Naylor's currently hitting with a runner at second base for the Cleveland.
Minus 1.8. A fight breaks out before.
Ha! Alex.
Not
Nobody wants
impossible. Not impossible. Iowa is 3-0 to the over this year. It's the first time in 20 years that has happened. Hawkeyes are laying 2.5 at Minnesota. The total is 38.5. Iowa's last 6 road games have gone under.
Is this the pig game?
This is the pig game. Floyd of Rosedale. Yep.
Yeah. Gonna have to remember that tomorrow.
Pig game.
Yeah. Did Dave Daily Picks? I'm not even reading what Dave's Daily Picks just said. I'm not reading that. He just came in the chat. I'm not saying it. I don't.
They
want
didn't
to say
struggle against Bowling Green. They just didn't play against them. They didn't care.
Bowling Green.
Same thing. You guys didn't care.
This could be a Bowling Green hat.
It could. Didn't you cover though? Didn't Penn State cover that game?
No, they almost lost. Holy crap! I was getting texts halfway through. They're like,
That's
Penn
right.
State's going to lose to Bowling Green. No,
That's right. I forgot about that.
Calm
That was the
down.
first
They
week of
almost
picks.
did.
That's right. That was week 1 of the picks.
Yeah.
Week 2 of college.
You like a side in this game? Forget about the
No,
total.
bet under.
Side. It's just under.
Just under. Yeah, Joel. Bet just under. Just bet under. Oh, it's
What-
35.5.
all our Iowa Hawkeye guys. I mean,
Wait,
is this what?
Is that
hold
right?
on.
It's not
Hold on.
35.5 now.
Hold on. Watching a baseball game. There's so much
Hold
stuff going on that my wife just.
Oh, it is
texted me.
35.5. Oh, wow. I fat fingered that. Sorry. That's my fault. That's wrong. I typed in, that must have been typing in tonight's game. It's 35.
35 and a half. It's 35 and a half, sir.
36. It was 36 and open. Sorry.
It's low.
Still went under.
Still going under.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Still going under.
It's low, bro.
It's low, but I'm still going under with it. It's just, and then we were talking about it, but like, you're not going to bet Florida, Mississippi State, are you?
Not even with the refinanced mortgage rate money.
You
Hell
can't,
no.
you can't even,
Are
you
you
can't even do
crazy?
that. Yeah. We have a couple minutes, so I want to ask you this question before we
Yes,
get
sir.
into one more topic for the NFL, and then we'll get to Bet It or Book It. Dan Patrick said this yesterday on his show.
He did.
He's waiting for sports insiders to get, quote, gobbled up by gambling outlets. He said, to me seems like the next frontier. This was in response to Woj retiring and going to run his alma mater's basketball program as their general manager, leaving millions on the table at ESPN to go and be a part of college basketball. This was a fear way back when they tried to I remember when Adam Schefter, they tried to get him to do DraftKings ads, and ESPN stepped in and said, no, that can't happen. And then we saw Brett McMurphy go to work for Action.
Yep.
And everyone's like, oh my gosh, all these big heavy hitter reporters are going to wind up working in the sports gambling space because that's where all the money is. Hasn't this ship already sailed?
Didn't Shams try it? Right?
Was he at FanDuel for a while?
Shams, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he still is, right? I think.
I don't know. Is he?
I don't know.
I just feel like that ship has already sailed. That worry wart of like, oh my God, what happens if the books, because his point was someone's going to get the information, sit on it for 5 minutes, tell the people that are subscribers to that book so they can bet it at a different book, and then report it 5 minutes later after the line moves.
Sounds great in theory, Danny. Danny, like Shane Irving calls him Danny. I don't think it's going to happen at all. The ship sailed. I mean, the ship is already docked. Forget about it. If that was going to happen, it would have already happened.
Right. I agree.
And I don't even think it's an even remote interest in happening. The books are trying to figure out a way to get people to bet. And they tried with content people, and they tried with the insiders, and they tried with this, and they're still trying to figure it out. I mean, you just heard Adam. That was very refreshing. And that's a base hit into right field. Here comes Jose. Cleveland wins. Cleveland rocks.
Wow.
He just did to put him to sleep. In game, Cleveland wins a game against Minnesota. D-Stout, I love you. The Twins are in big trouble. Oh, they are now tied with the Detroit Tigers for the wild card spot. Man.
Down the drain.
Look at that. They're undressing this guy in the field, literally ripping his shirt
Who
off.
clinched the play? Who clinched? The Guardians did?
Is that official? They clinch a postseason berth? Adam with 2 M's, 2555. I don't know. They just won today. That's good news right there. Oh, let me hear you, Cleveland. I swear.
Adam says yes. They clinched.
Thank you, Adam. So yes, P-Roll, to answer your question, I mean, why don't they call they're not calling anybody. They're not calling anybody.
Well, I think the idea that people, the old heads, will call Dan, the people who haven't been around it for a long time and who grew up in an era in which sports gambling was the devil, and that still, in some level, still believes that sports betting is the devil, that they think that because information is king, that the books have a desire to have their customers be more informed, which is not what they want. Most books want their customers to be ill-informed. So I'm not going to pay Adam Schefter. I'm not going to pay an NBA insider to give my people the best information because they'll bet it against me and they'll hurt me. So why would I do that? That makes no sense.
And they're not hiring them to get the information because most of the time the information isn't that important to the betting.
Well, yeah, I mean, to the public it is, but in general terms, right. But a quarterback sitting is worth a point, right?
I mean, yeah, if you find out, I guess, before and you get it ahead of the injury play. But again, I always say it still has to win. So again, you can get the number, get the best of the number. The books would like to take the information and move the number and set up the book the way they want to, set up the board the way they want to on certain games. So they are ahead of it. That'd be great. They don't do that. Contrary to some people's belief, it's not fixed, and they don't have a direct line to the commissioner's office. I can tell you that firsthand. It never once rang in any book that I ever worked at. They never did. And there's, services that said they have this and they have that. You know the best service for it? Social media.
Right. Right.
And that's why the books got TweetDeck when we did, and different things, because there were people that were putting that information out, like Woj, who did an unbelievable job. I mean, but his quote, and I retweeted it, was actually Let's see. Shefty put it out. It was pretty good. I want to read it and make sure exactly what he said. Hold on. It said, and he wanted his life back. He didn't want to have to work on holidays. He didn't want to be away from more family gatherings. He didn't want to have to take a shower with your phone up against the shower door so you can see a text that's coming in, or take your phone with you to the urinal and hold it in one hand while you take care of your business in the other. That's the life we live. Adam Schefter said that yesterday. Okay? Now, some people can hold it with one hand. Some people need two. At some point, if you're that important,
the hell are we doing?
Put the phone down while you're peeing.
For 30 seconds? You get.
I mean, unless you really listen. Sometimes, if I really drink a lot of water, and I can pee for 2 minutes. Somebody could get traded, or a line could get moved, or something in 2 minutes. Okay, you can take a 2-minute pee. I've done it.
Yes, of course, I agree.
But like that life is the life of a bettor. That life is a life of a book guy. That life is a life of a parent. That life is the life of a sports person, content creator.
Yeah.
There's people that can't get away from their damn phone, period.
We're never off. We're always on. I always tell kids in my class, I said,
one of the first things you told me, I will never forget. Are you sure you want to do this? Because you can't be off. Like if you're off, you're way off, like out of, off the thing, but you're always on when you're in the media. And I was like, it's no big deal. I'm always on now in the book. Because I was. So I think my transition to it was easier.
It was easier, yeah.
But I'll never forget when you told me that, because I told my wife that. And she's like, oh, great. What does that mean? You're going to always be on your phone? Kind of.
Yeah. You're never off. You're always working. You're never not working. Sports media never stops. I like it. I know when to turn it down, but I'm never off.
You watch Lord of the Rings, apparently.
11:30 at night. Yeah, but I'm still, my phone's still on me though. I still get the CBW, dings and everything else he sends to us at all hours of the night, stories that pop. So I still get that.
Does an unbelievable job doing that. He did that yesterday with me and Wetzel.
Oh,
he
cool.
saved us. He had us 3 stories while we were on the air. It was incredible.
Yeah,
at one point during the break, Wetzel goes, "Who's the CBW guy?" I'm like, "Listen, I don't know, but I got to meet this guy at some point. I don't know."
My tweet count is down this season. I didn't realize that. I think, Sonic, that actually is a good thing. It's actually a intentional thing that my tweets are down. I've taken don't start shit mentality.
Yes.
That's been my approach to social media. So I cannot tell you the number of deleted tweets I have where I've written out the entire tweet, and then right before I hit send, I hit delete. So that's my
favorite thing about today. I got a favorite thing about today, but that is my favorite thing about today.
It's been a conscious decision to tweet less and to be more aware that it's not necessary because the BVB brand is so important to me that I have to be willing to say whatever I say with the brand attached to me. And when Dave and I co-own that, it's not just my injuring the brand. I injure something for Dave. So you light up my DMs and mentions and texts. Well, that's their own fucking problem.
Very good thing.
That's those losers who can't get out of their own way, that go to you like you're my dad and go cry, which I laugh. Like go cry to somebody else. You had any balls, you talk to me, but you don't have any. So, but like it's been a conscious decision by me to not start that, because there's plenty of things. And then this political cycle, I want nothing to do with it.
I can't open it. It's really tough. And I love the social media, and I communicate with so many people via it, but man, oh man, it's tough. Where you're just casually trying to have lunch and scrolling through and you want to maybe see what somebody said.
I can start fires, CP. Yeah. If I want to start fires, I can start fires. Okay. I can light a whole forest on fire if I want, but when it comes to like Patriots stuff, yeah, look, if the Patriots win, when it comes to sports stuff, I don't care. If you get mad at me for a sports take, get a life.
Right.
But if I'm talking about the other stuff. I'm talking about the things that are like on the periphery, things that will be more like pop culture news item type of stuff. Like I've stayed consciously away from any type of third rail simply because it doesn't benefit anything. It hurts the show. It hurts Dave. It doesn't help anything. So that's why. If you're wondering why I don't tweet nearly as much, that's why. I just don't tweet nearly as much as I used to because, well, frankly, the more you tweet, the more trouble you get into. It kind of goes hand in hand in a lot of ways.
Can we put that on a t-shirt?
Yeah. Okay. Are field goals too easy? This is crazy.
What do you think of this one? This is
way too
West
big.
Virginia.
Yeah,
no, this is for
Chad.
Big Head Chad.
Yes.
Big Head Chad got this one. I can't.
You look like a kid.
Look at the size of this hat.
You look like a little kid.
It's unbelievable, man. I mean, I got this for Big Head Chad. He's sending this out. The guys have really responded to the hats and stuff. This is a West Virginia model. Matches my
looks nice. Yeah, that's a sweet hat. I like that hat a lot. That looks nice.
Gold. Yeah,
that looks nice.
Big.
That looks really sweet. I like that a lot. 89.7% of clip. And the guy who's missed the most, 50 plus, is Justin Tucker, the best kicker of all time. Like 89.7 at 50 plus.
Oh.
And Tucker's missed 2 of them.
That is weird.
Yes.
That is weird.
He's actually missed 6 going back to last year. Justin Tucker has been missing kicks.
Very strange. Very strange. But
because there's a big push here about narrowing the goalposts.
So, why?
To make it harder. Why? Make it harder.
It's part of the game.
Yeah, just make it harder. We moved the extra point back. Why can't we shrink the goalposts?
Got other things to make harder. Okay, let's focus on that. All right, we don't need to be worrying about narrowing the goalposts on a football field.
Why not?
To make it harder. Why?
I'm okay with this. I like this.
You want to narrow the goalposts?
I do. Yeah, I want to make it harder. Yeah, I do. I want to make it more difficult to hit a kick. Yes. Stop saying the other way. I'm saying more difficult. I'm not saying
Whitrock. Yes. Whitrock. I saw what you did there.
Yeah, I'm not saying
got everybody.
Yes.
Here, this is what Whitrock said. Make it harder.
Please.
Pause. No, I don't think you have to. When guys get good at something, why do you have to change and legislate the game? Because they're good at it.
Because, Dave, 15 years ago, it was a 40% make. It was hard to make a 50-yard plus field goal. Now it's 90%. It's a layup. It's too easy. Okay.
Relax.
Fine.
The wind's going to start to blow.
Goes back to last year. Here's the reasoning, okay? And this is in the article on Yahoo Sports Today, which is fascinating. 15 years ago, there was not a full-time long snapper on the roster. Now there is.
Guy for that. The long snapper is the most important position on the field.
Bill Belichick.
For the special teams.
Belichick figured that out.
No, right.
I'll say, by the way, don't yell at me. Okay. So I didn't even know this.
Oh, he did it with a super chat. So we got to read it right away.
Don't blame me.
Hitter through 7 in Texas. Dave's Daily Picks. Well, thank you for the heads up. Damn it. Now everybody knows.
I didn't say it.
Put it on.
I didn't say it, so can't blame me.
Can't blame you. You're right.
Cannot
blame P-Roll.
I didn't have that happen. I think they should narrow the goalposts. I really do. I think it's too easy of a kick now for these kickers, and they have such incredible mechanics in terms of the battery mate that they have, who works. All they do is work on it. Make it more difficult. Narrow the goalposts.
Give them a pull. Forget about asking who win and losing games. Should they narrow the goalposts in the NFL? Yes or no?
Yes.
Vote. I am 100% voting no. We don't need to right now. It's too quick to make that snap judgment.
I don't think so.
People vote for the UST.
It goes back years, by the way. It goes back over years. This is not like a short-term thing. This is not like a 1-year thing. This is years. Over years. We've done this. How about a moving target? Put the goalposts on tracks and go back and forth.
Addison,
that'd be cool.
Whatever Addison is on is good stuff. Can you? I mean, the stuff this kid comes up with. I got to get this kid.
Look, Dave's Daily Picks. It's not arena football. Hold on a second. We moved the extra point back just recently. Don't tell me we don't play around with this stuff. We do. We've already done this.
No, look, they
extra point was too easy. They moved it back.
They moved the extra point back, and then they made balls. They changed the balls. Right, the kicking balls. They made the you have
now. The next step is to lower. Is it to shrink the area? It's the same thing. You can't say leave the game alone. All they do is change the game, Rain. That's all they do. Let's change the game. Leave the game alone. Every year they change it. You seen the kickoffs this year? That doesn't look normal. All they do is change the game. So I don't know. To me, it's too easy. A 55-yard kick. They were talking about a 68-yard kick on Sunday involving which team was it?
The Kansas City was going.
Well, that too. It wasn't during Kansas City. It was during one of the early games. It was during the 1:00 games that they were talking about. They lined up for a 66-yard field goal and they went off sides. It was a 71-yard field goal and they thought about it. They thought about kicking a 71-yard field goal. They're like,
Coaches don't always make good decisions. It was a good decision to not try the 71-yard field goal. Come on.
Oh, how about
barefoot?
It was the Dallas game. Thank you. Yes, it was Dallas. That's right. It was the Dallas game. They thought about doing it too. 68-yarders. 68-yarders. Like, what are we doing? Like, what the? I remember the barefoot kicker. Remember Tony Franklin?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Patriots had a barefoot kicker. Thought the guy was insane. He kicked when it was cold. It was like 10 degrees outside, just kicking barefoot.
He didn't even wear a sock.
Kicking a rock. It's like kicking a rock.
You ever tried doing that?
Absolutely not.
You never, all the soccer times, you never tried to kick something barefoot like that?
Yeah, I kicked a soccer ball barefoot. I never kicked a football barefoot.
Oh.
Kicked a soccer ball barefoot. Yeah, all the time. But
every kid in the world tried to kick a ball barefoot back in the day. No?
No, that's
hurts like a mother.
Kicking an NFL football. Do you realize how big an actual regulation NFL football is? It's much bigger than you think. It looks small on TV. It ain't that small.
Looks small.
It looks small.
It's bigger. Get us out of here. Get the bonus time, please. What are you doing?
If you guys are watching on replay, thank you on Sports Grid. If you're listening on Sirius XM, thank you as well. Roll Call Friday tomorrow. Should be a lot of fun. Big week 3 NFL, week 4 college football Roll Call Friday. For the rest of you who are watching live, you're not moving because you guys are with us for bonus time. It's not Nerf. Nope, not Nerf.
Definitely not Nerf.
Nerf's great. God, Nerf footballs were phenomenal. I did kick Nerf footballs. I've done that barefoot. I have done that. Time for betting. All right, I'm already in here with the +6.5 for the Patriots, so I decided to go and make it even more so. I'm 4-0, primetime, same game teasers. The public wanted it. I'm giving it to them. Patriots +12, under 44.5.
Got to give the people what they want. This is what they want. I think this wins. I don't know how this loses. The only way this loses is the total. The Jets aren't winning this game by more than 12, unless Brissett throws it and gives them. They win the turnover ratio 3-0. Yeah, something like that.
That's bad. Yeah, if Patriots throw up all over themselves and give up 15 to 20 points on turnovers, then forget it. It's over. Yeah,
right.
But
if turnover margin is +1 either way, I think this is a closer game. Definitely within 10.
Yeah, there's no double dipping, JC. There's no other way of doing it. I'm not teasing the Jets down. You kidding me? No way. That would be crazy to do that. You can't tease the Jets down. The Jets can lose this game outright, straight up. Okay, Patriots can win this game. If the Patriots win this game, Fitzy's on the show tomorrow. I've already been texted. Already been texted with him. Already been talking to him. He's already ready to go. He will come in both barrels on the Jets tomorrow if the Patriots win this game. He will unload on the Jets if they lose this game tonight.
Gonna have to find a Jets fan to come on tomorrow.
Okay, good luck. Do they exist?
They've been away for a while.
Jets fans exist.
Yeah, it's like we may have to send out an APB for
it's
real
like
Jets,
seeing
like
Bigfoot in the wild or something.
Whoa,
Hey,
seeing Bigfoot.
Like let's see what happens to that. Ramondre Stevenson, anytime touchdown, even money.
Wow. Is this the favorite of all the guys to score a touchdown? Let me see.
No, Breece Hall was more likely than Stevenson.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, rushing touchdowns have been abundant, especially in the primetime games. The running backs have been getting the ball. Passing touchdowns are down. This makes a lot of sense. I wish
you're way too high in this Jets defense. You think if the Patriots score tonight, Covey, you're way too high. Have you watched them the first 2 weeks? They need Hassan Reddick bad. Like bad.
Yeah, I put my phone on.
Reddick's got so much leverage right now against them.
Let's see. Touchdown props. Wow. All right. So, I mean, I just checked 2 places. It's +105. Even money's not the bad price. That's the market price. And Brees Hall is minus what? 175. I guess both guys are going to score a rushing touchdown. So yes, that's a bet.
And then Jacoby Brissett, no touchdown passes tonight. Plus 122. Under half, no touchdown passes tonight. They don't throw the ball in the red zone. They run the ball. That's it. And the only way I get beat, if you want to hedge off this, bet Hunter Henry anytime touchdown.
There you go.
He's the only one that can burn. He's the only one that can burn you. So
Right.
you can hedge off of it and take them both at plus money, and then you're almost guaranteeing yourself because there's I can't see him.
Hunter Henry's 5-1 to score anytime touchdown.
So he's the only one that could burn me. They're not throwing to a wideout. A wide receiver's not scoring a touchdown unless it's like a complete broken play. And it would be Douglas would be the only one. Pop will be the only one to take a screen pass to the house. That's how I lose this. But if that happening, the Patriots will win the game. So I'm good with it.
Okay. I'd say book that one myself. I think he's going to throw one.
Okay.
But
if he does, I'm
doesn't.
good.
I mean, that's fine.
He throws one, they'll be in. They'll be in for it.
Right.
I'm taking
I
a
really
shot.
can't name a pass wide receiver either. I was thinking that's crazy.
Polk.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all rookies. They're all young kids.
Boy,
Pop
they're
Douglas.
really listed down on the list.
Yeah, it's Douglas. It's Polk.
Yeah. Jalen Polk.
First round pick.
Who's KJ Osborne?
Kid from Minnesota. They picked up from the Vikings.
Okay.
He's a slot receiver. He's not catching a touchdown pass tonight.
Well, that's the lowest odds for wide receiver.
Ain't happening. KJ Osborne's not scoring a touchdown tonight. I would love it. I would love it. Let him score. It'd be awesome.
Okay.
Just I don't see it. I don't see Brissett throwing touchdown passes tonight because in the red zone it's just Ramondre, Wildcat Ramondre. It's just what they do.
Wow.
He scored his rushing touchdown last week on a Wildcat.
Okay.
So, crop duster. Relax.
Just wondering for the hats. I sent an email text yesterday. Should I just hold tight and make sure I have my colors? Yeah, that's exactly what you should do.
Yes,
Just we'll get with you. I will text you tonight. Just pause everything.
Just relax.
We're gonna get that taken care of. Thank you.
Just hold.
The hatch will be made. Yes, sir.
Favorite thing about today?
Well, yesterday we went and saw our guy, and this was the result of one of them. But this is Big Head Chad. It's just perfect. I mean, it's so big. And I learned something that a 7 7/8 is a unicorn. You can't find a 7 7/8. That's what Corbin said to me. I said, I need a 7 7/8. He said, you got to try to find one across the country. Can't do it. So
Wow.
I told Big Head Chad he's going to have to make this one fit. All right. But that's the West Virginia hat. But this one is the crown jewel. Chicago John came up with a hat design.
Oh, there you go. Chicago dog. Cubs.
We
Cubs
almost put ketchup on it to match the red. We were trying to change the hot dog, but we didn't want to break the machine. So it's the BVB Chicago John model. One of my favorite things about today is that you guys are really taking ownership of this thing. They will go out, mail out Monday, BVB Brigade made. Wait until, if you're going to send anything about the hats, please don't do it today.
Yeah.
Or email the show only, please, and we'll get the emails forwarded to the admin team. We're trying to keep the brigade line open for the picks, for the proxy stuff.
Yeah.
But that was my favorite thing is I got to visit with Corbin. The kid's imaginative. He comes up with different ideas and different things like that. So we can do some things, and we're going to get them done. But favorite thing about today is somehow baseball's still on the rundown. Very excited that you
not tomorrow.
Bullshit.
Not tomorrow.
That's okay.
It's Patriot game day for me. Standalone. We don't get many of these. Standalone
Thank
prime
God.
time. We don't get many of these. So the favorite thing about today is I get the Patriots 5 o'clock, 5:15 kickoff here on the Pacific West Coast time. Gonna watch that from 5 till 8. Patriot football on TV. Standalone Thursday. Favorite thing about today. Let's see. Team was close last week from going 2-0. Probably should have been 2-0. Got conservative. And it's the JETS sucks, as we always say. Here we go with these fuckers from New York that we get to go ahead and because we've heard it the whole time. And when we get Aaron Rodgers, look out Aaron Rodgers. Okay, you have Aaron Rodgers now. Now what? No more excuses. You have Aaron Rodgers.
What is that voice? Is that voice an accent?
It's a New York person. That's like a New York Jet.
Nasally though. It was very
nasally. Yeah. What's you ever talked to a Jet fan? Got their noses up people's butts all the time.
You're gonna have to sing the Jet song tomorrow.
Yeah, it's no.
You're a Yankee fan. Now. That's my other favorite thing about it. I can't believe you're a Yankee guy.
That's how.
You better wear those at home. You better take those home on this trip.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'll wear them at home. Yeah, I did not even. It didn't register. It didn't click into my head till I came home and I looked down and I went, "Oh my God, it's official! I no longer give a shit. I'm now done. After I'm 47 years old." I've been betting every day for 4 years, and I no longer care. Like betting is taken out.
Welcome to my world.
It's taken me out. I no longer have the emotional connection and anger that I used to have. I don't have it anymore. Like I love my teams, but I don't have the same disdain and hatred. And the Yankees suck anyway, so it's easy. So it's that's fine. But I like the Cowboys. I'll own the Cowboys thing because I don't hate the Cowboys. I don't like that.
Way worse.
I don't like Dak, but I don't mind the Cowboys. I don't mind. I told you, Patriot fans are going to be Cowboy fans. That's our future. If you want to see what the Patriots' future looks like, that's it. The Cowboys. That's what we're going to be.
Talking about the glory days.
Oh, over and over again. Having a meddling
owner to just
man owner meddling with his son running everything, thinking about where's Troy Aikman? Where's Troy? And Troy's in the booth. And Tom's in the booth. Where's Tom? Where's Tom? Tom's in the booth. I've said it forever. That's our future. Patriot fans' future is going to be the Cowboys, and that's just how it's going to be. So I'm okay with it. But so I'm okay with wearing cowboy colors. I don't like Yankee colors, but I'm okay with that. Roll Call Friday, boys and girls. Get here, be here, and we can't wait to see and hear from all of you all over the world and country. Good stuff from Adam. It's the J is silent, right? It's Bjorn. Bjorn. Prime time Thursdays. That was a lot of fun for him to come on in with that. He or Joe will join us thanks to Prime Sportsbook. If you're in Ohio or New Jersey, go open an account. If you're in a state around, go check it out. Open an account. Check out what they've got for you guys in that part of the country with Prime Sportsbooks. He is Dave. I am Matt. Roll Call Friday tomorrow for BVB.